In this video, we'll show you how to increase. We're using Hayfield Bonus DK and you'll use the yarn and needles in your pattern. I'm going to show you how to increase in two ways. First, I'm going to show you how you knit into the front and back of the loop, and then I'm going to show you another technique where you make one in between stitches. So to start off, I'm now going to show you how to increase by knitting twice into the same stitch, working first through the front of the loop and then the back. So we're going to come through the front of the loop to the back. We're going to start our stitch, so we're going to wrap around, hold, and we're going to do the beginning of our stitch. So we come through and out, so we have our stitch on our needle and our new stitch we've made. Now before pulling this off of the left needle, we're going to work back into the same stitch, but this time we're going to work through the back of the loop. So this means we come from the back and we come through the stitch from the back. So we're working, twisting the stitch, which means we're able to knit again into the same stitch, finishing the stitch by pulling off, and now we've created two stitches from one. So I'm going to show you that again. So we're going to come into the stitch, round our needle, pull through the first part of our stitch without pulling it off our other needle. We're now going to work back into the same stitch by going through the back of loop. So you come over that part of the loop, twisting that through the back, going into the same stitch twice. So we take our yarn, we wrap around our needle, pull that through, and then we can slip off our left needle, creating two stitches from one. I'm now going to also show you how you'd make a stitch. So to make a stitch, you work the stitch in between stitches. So where you can see we've got our stitches on our right needle and our left, we're going to pick up a stitch using our right needle to pick up the strand in between our stitches. So we're taking that strand of yarn and we're going to place that onto our left needle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to work that as a new stitch. We're going to come in through the back of the loop. So we come in, we've got that on our needle, we come in and make sure you get through the back of that stitch. When working twice into stitches, it can sometimes be a little bit tight. So make sure that you wrap that and you get right in through the back of the loop. And now we're ready to add our stitch. So we're doing a knit stitch, so wrapping around and pulling off, creating an extra stitch. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to knit one stitch in between. And so now I'm ready to make one. So I want to go in between my stitches. I'm going to use my right needle to pick up that loop, place it on my left needle, and then I'm going to make sure that I come under and work through the back of that loop. Make sure it's not twisted and you don't break your yarn. To the back of the loop, and I'm going to knit my stitch, creating an extra stitch in the space between stitches. So that's how you increase two ways, knitting into the front and the back of your stitch and also making one in between stitches. Practice until you're confident and then head to surdar.com for more stitches, beginner kits, patterns and yarn.